Hello, graphic novel literature students. Welcome to the video for week 3, day 1. This video is designed for those students who were absent from our live Zoom class. In order to get yourself set up, you'll want to open the graphic novel term notes as well as the Understanding Comics PDF by Scott McCloud. As a reminder, everything you say, do, or type is recorded, so please keep it school appropriate. And as always, there's no saving, downloading, or taking pictures of our class ever. All right, our agenda for this day's class was to continue reading McCloud's Understanding Comics, to read Chapter 3, and then fill in vocabulary on the graphic novel terms notes. As a reminder, if you didn't turn in last week's comics from a comic activity, please make sure that you turn that in as soon as possible. All right, again, to get yourself set up, you'll need your note sheet open in one tab, and you'll want to have, or window, and the PDF of Understanding Comics in another tab or window. That way you can easily kind of read and then add notes, read, add notes as you go. A quick check for understanding before we read that I had students do is I asked students to tell me the difference between reading these two comics, the one on the left and the one on the right. The one on the left is from a comic called Persepolis, and the one on the right is from a manga called Battle Angel Alita. Okay. The main difference between the two texts, there are several, and Chapter 3 will talk a lot more about those different types of differences between these. But the first thing I want to point out is that with traditional comics from the West, right, we read from left to right, top to bottom, right? So we would start in the upper left-hand corner and move left to right, then move down to the next row, and then do left to right again, down to the next row, and then all the way across again from left to right. However, in manga or Eastern styles, right, we move from right to left, right? So you would actually start in this panel and read right to left, then cross down to here, go down to the next vertical panel, then move left, and then finally get to that last panel at the end. This is something that comes up in the Chapter 3 reading when McCloud first starts discussing or introducing excerpts from Eastern comics, right, or manga. But he doesn't actually talk about the order of which panel you're supposed to read until several pages into his analysis. So I think it might be easier for you to understand what he's trying to say if we point this out earlier. Okay, so again, what you are going to do is you're going to read Chapter 3, right? Start on page 60 and read to the end of the chapter. And then I will show you in the next slide, right? The terms that come up in this chapter are closure on page 63, gutters on page 66, and you can write down a definition for panels after looking at page 91. However, this is something he'll elaborate on more in the another chapter in the book, right? So you definitely need closure and gutters, but an optional one is you can write in panels as well. Okay, and so that was everything that we did in class today, right? Whatever we didn't finish reading in Chapter 3 became students' homework, so you should make sure you read all of Chapter 3 and then fill in the new vocabulary. You don't have to submit that yet because we're going to read Chapter 4 during day 2 of class, and then after we've added more vocabulary from that chapter, then you'll submit it. As a reminder, because we have a strange schedule this week, there is no academic check-in. So if you need to attend student support, I'll be available every day from 2:45 to 3:15. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in class soon.